Learn about North Carolina courts. The Clerk of Superior Court. Ex officio judge of probate. If you have ever been to court or watched a courtroom drama on television, you may be familiar with most of the people who work in the courtroom. You may recognize the judge, the district attorney, the defense attorney, and, of course, the deputy sheriff who serves as a courtroom bailiff. But there is another important person who performs a vital role in the administration of justice in North Carolina courts. That person is the Clerk of Superior Court. But who is the Clerk of Superior Court? And what role does the clerk play in our judicial system? The history and office of the Clerk of Superior Court. Since 1837, a Clerk of Superior Court has been elected in each of the 100 counties in North Carolina in a partisan election to serve a 4-year term. Today, over 2,600 assistant and deputy clerks work in courthouses all across North Carolina. These clerks report to their local elected clerk. There are 3 types of deputy and assistant clerks within the Clerk of Superior Court's office: courtroom clerks, clerks who serve as hearing officers, and clerks who work in offices and behind counters to serve the public. A deputy or assistant clerk sits next to the judge in each courtroom. This clerk calls the docket, pulls court files, prepares files and orders, administers oaths to witnesses and jurors, and accepts and catalogs evidence, among other duties. In North Carolina, the clerk is also the judge of probate and is in charge of overseeing cases presented for probate. These cases can include not only the estates of deceased persons, but also competency and guardianship issues and adoptions, as well. Assistant and deputy clerks also work in the various offices in the courthouse to assist the public. Deputy clerks perform specialized clerical and administrative work in a Clerk of Superior Court office that involves interacting with and assisting the public, processing initial filings, continuances, judgments, and maintaining case documentation. While each county's staffing and resources may vary, the organizational structure of each clerk's office is similar. There are typically 6 divisions: bookkeeping, criminal, civil, estates, juvenile, and special proceedings. The number of assistant and deputy clerks in each clerk's office may range from a minimum staffing level of 5 to over 200 employees, depending on the caseload in the county. It has been determined that 1 in 4 people residing in each county will visit their local clerk's office each year for one reason or another. People visit the clerk's office for a wide variety of reasons. They may be a victim of a crime. They may need to probate the will of a loved one. They may have been summoned for jury service. Or they may have been issued a traffic citation. The roles of the Clerk of Superior Court. In North Carolina, the role of the clerk is rather unique. The clerk serves as the judge of probate, the comptroller, the custodian of court records, and administrator, and also serves as a leader. The judge of probate. Basically, probate is the judicial process whereby a will is proved in a court of law and accepted as a valid public document that is the true last testament of the deceased. In the absence of a will, the estate is settled according to the laws of intestacy in the state of residence of the deceased at time of death. The granting of probate by the clerk is the first step in the legal process of administering the estate of a deceased person, resolving all claims and distributing the deceased person's property under a will. North Carolina is the only state in which the clerk has some judicial powers, including serving as the judge of probate. It is in this role as the judge of probate that the clerk and their assistants and deputies oversee the probate of wills and the administration of estates. The clerk also presides over adoptions, competency, power of attorney, and guardianship proceedings. The clerk is responsible for presiding over the condemnation of private lands for public use, in addition to many other civil actions. In fact, the clerk has jurisdiction over 46 types of actions. Comptroller. As comptroller, the Clerk of Superior Court is responsible for receiving, investing, and disbursing millions of dollars from court fees, fines, traffic citations, and other court-related activity. The North Carolina General Assembly decides where the money goes. Although several of the statutes about court costs say that the money is for the support of the General Court of Justice, most of the money collected does not stay with the courts and is not reserved for the court's use. The largest share of court costs goes to the state's general fund, to be spent by the General Assembly as they deem appropriate. The remainder is distributed by the clerk to various government agencies at the state and local levels, like to county governments to fund courthouse facilities or to state and local law enforcement agencies to fund some of their operations. Custodian of court records. As the custodian of court records, the clerk of Superior Court is solely responsible for the integrity of every case that is filed. This includes filing, processing, indexing, and maintaining every piece of paper filed each year in the North Carolina General Court of Justice. All lawsuits, civil actions, criminal proceedings, or other matters brought before the court are filed in the clerk's office. Court records must be secured and maintained in a safe place not only for current use but also for reference purposes and future examinations of all proceedings involving a person or persons. Except for juvenile files, adoption records and certain other confidential records, each document in the clerk's office is a public record and available for inspection at a reasonable time and place. Administrator. As an administrator, the clerk is charged with performing multiple ministerial acts such as the issuance of summons, setting up the court file, docketing and indexing case files, as well as issuing subpoenas to compel the attendance of an in-state witness and/or to compel the production of documents. Leader. As a leader of their offices, the elected clerks of Superior Court supervise and manage over 2,600 employees statewide. This is 43% of the judicial branch workforce. The clerk of Superior Court and ex officio judge of probate wears many hats when it comes to the administration of justice in North Carolina. Without clerks, justice could not be delivered without favor, denial, or delay. We hope this video has helped you learn more about the important role of the clerk of Superior Court in our system of justice. Thank you for watching. To learn more about the North Carolina Judicial Branch, follow us on social media, watch our videos, listen to our podcast, and visit our website at nccourts.gov.